All right, good morning. We'll let everybody come in and we'll start here in just a minute. Okay, everybody can see the screen, so we'll get going here. Good morning or afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Jim West. I'm the Associate Director at BioTools Innovator, and we're here today for our third and final info session for our application cycle that started November 1st and is going to be ending, I'm sorry, October 1st and ending December 1st. So we have another week and a half or so left of our application cycle. And our goal here today is to really just answer any questions you may have. I do have a few slides and a few updates to share with you, but we'll try to reserve most of the time for any questions you have. So if you do have questions, please use our Q&A box. It's in your Zoom panel bar, and you can submit questions there. If you would like to ask a question directly, that's fine. We can bring you on, or you can raise your hand. So with that, we'll get started. So real quick, BioTools Innovator, we're the world's premier accelerator for life science tool companies. We help connect startups that are sort of pre-seed to Series A or B, and we connect them to strategic experts, subject matter experts, investors, and other folks to help them be more successful, giving the resources that they need. And this can include access to investors. It can include board type support with insight into customer development, product development, and things like that. We've been going for 5 years. We just finished our 2025 year accelerator last week. We started in 2021. And so, I'm sorry, I said last week. It's this week. It's still so fresh. Uh, we're still getting over it. It was actually a Tuesday that we did our capstone event. It was the culmination of this year's accelerator. And I have a little video for you.
I enjoy interacting with people. So, of course, I love both the kickoff and now the capstone wrap up face to face, where you can really connect with people and talk about maybe how your technologies could be synergistic, meet with your mentors, get advice.
One is just the networking. I mean, the community is very warm and receptive and supporting, and so that made networking not just kind of a business proposition, but it was enjoyable and fun.
For a company that knows what they are looking for, I think this is a fabulous program. You can get access to people who have commercialized their products. You can get access to well-seasoned mentors where, normally finding them would be very tough and very difficult.
Get advice, hear the hard, tough questions. You can do that online, but it's really helpful to see people. And I've already at this capstone event met folks that have given me advice and met new investors that maybe might not invest in us because it's not the thesis, but are absolutely willing to offer their advice and their connections to help us succeed.
I would tell them they should absolutely apply. This is not just, we've been in other accelerator programs, but this one really delivered above and beyond. It was phenomenal. I'm sad to have it end. It was really good.
It's incredible that we had our event Tuesday and our marketing team is so on top of it. We already have a video from the event. So kudos to our marketing team for putting that together in such a short time. It was a great event. And we ended the day with our grand prize finale. So our program starts the day with pitches from the cohort. Then we do some panels. We do some discussions on investment and industry topics and things like that. And then we bring everybody together for our grand prize finale. So out of the cohort, a number of them are selected. This year it was 5 out of the 31 were invited to pitch on our grand stage, and the audience voted live for the winner. And so we each finalist earned $10,000, and our grand prize winner got $250,000. We had another award of $10,000 for the best video in the program. So we also asked the companies in the accelerator to compete on a 1-minute video about them. and that was all sorted. So more than $300,000 was given away on Tuesday. Again, all voted live by the audience. So great time. And our winner was actually from Paris, Paris, France, Guillaume Prunier at Eucharist. He won the competition, so that's a photo of him there in the middle holding the check. He he was still on Paris time when he pitched, so I think it was like 3 or 4 a.m. for him. But he rallied and did a great job. So we had a great time, and it was fantastic seeing all the companies and the progress they'd made through the program. So, as I said, we've helped over almost 100 companies in the accelerator now. Collectively, since the program, they've raised more than $245 million, and we've given away almost $1.5 million in cash prize awards over the life of the program. The types of areas and companies that we help, we kind of go over this each time, but we look at, we provide this list for reference, but it is not meant to be all inclusive or boundary inducing. We're just trying to give examples of areas we're interested in that we know of. But obviously, research products and instruments, lab tools, automation, robotics, things like that. R&D and manufacturing services is great. We have a lot of companies that have some combination of services and or products. Diagnostic and enabling technologies is obviously a huge and growing area. Drug development and discovery, enabling technologies for food and ag. So we're also able to support some of those types of companies. And finally, improving preparedness for medical countermeasures. That's our BARDA Vanguard track, and they support those programs. All right. Just want to say thank you as always to our partners who make this all happen, make it possible. Couldn't do it without them, but these are the people who support the program in a financial way to allow us to do what we do. Speaking of the Vanguard Specialized track, this is just a little more info about it. It's runs parallel. It's a member of the accelerator, so you would be in the accelerator, but you get some additional support from BARDA, including access to funding resources and subject matter experts within the ecosystem and others. And broadly, what we provide is mentorship. Every company gets access to really high quality mentors. It's some of the biggest compliments we get is the quality of the mentors that they get in the program. Really world-class people that are here to help. It's very curated, so we try to pick the best people for the right companies with the right problems that they can help with. We do educational curriculum. So through the program, I lead weekly webinars where we bring in experts and panelists to talk about topics of interest to the cohort. These are tailored to you and the interests you guys have. Access to resources. We have some vendor resources with PitchBook, PubGrade, and some others. And we provide some fellows who can also do some research support for companies. And the funding prizes, we love that. And we also allow the access to the investors in our network. But I think of all the things we do and the things I hear over and over, you heard it in the video, it's the ecosystem and the people that probably provide the most value. And that's it. The last thing, recognition and visibility. I think a lot of people do get credibility and validation from being in the program. It's highly competitive. People recognize the name. Um, one of the things we're really proud of is actually next week I'll be in New York and we will be projecting all of the finalist graduates' names on the NASDAQ tower down in Times Square. So a little bit of marketing and promo from them for completing the program. All right. Last slide I'll share, and then we'll start taking some questions. The timeline of the program, the applications do close December 1st. At that point, we will start our review process. So the review process is the first stage. We have multiple reviewers per company, so it's not just one. It's we try to get at least 5 to 7 reviewers per company, and it's we take that feedback and we select about 20% of the applicants to our phase 2, which is an in-person road tour pitch event. So these we travel around Boston, San Diego, and Europe, and we invite companies to come out and they do a one-day event and they'll get a chance to pitch at small tables with experts at the table. And they do that 5 times. So you get 20 minutes and you'll pitch we suggest 5 and then 15 minutes of table Q&A, and you'd repeat that five times. So it's actually a great way to build connections, value. There's really great people. Everybody gets great. I get told from people who didn't even make it in the program that they got a lot of value out of this event. And at each of these stages, we also provide feedback. So you get sort of insight into whether positive or negative, the perception of the company and how people feel about the application of the company. So there's value there. And then the program itself, from those selection events, runs June to October, where we do our capstone event in October, and that will be kind of what we did this week for that. So with that, let's take some questions. First question from Ganapati. We are a purely software startup. We do the tools and techniques for clinical trials that improve success rate, right patient recruitment, etc. Do we have a fit in this program? Yes. Yeah, so you would be a fine fit for this program. We have had clinical trial support software in the past, so that would be no problem. And we have we have a good number of software only companies, so not having a hardware or chemical component, absolutely no problem. Is there a limit to apply if the company has raised a certain amount of money? We're currently raising an A and had a decent size seed. Good question. We have been expanding our cap of companies that we can support. Last year, we had a cap of $20 million of capital raised, non-inclusive of grants. This year, we're actually going up to about 50. So we could even maybe go higher if we talked. But yeah, if you have a decent size seed, if it's more than 100 million, we'd probably have to talk. But we do have some flexibility on the scale and size of the companies this year that we haven't traditionally had in the past. And if you have any additional questions, we can talk about that offline. All right. I think, are there any hands up? Sorry, I'm lost in my navigation here. Let's bring Ganapati on. Did we answer your question, Ganapati, or did you just still have your hand up? You can unmute if you'd like to talk. Okay, we will assume not. Next question is Rama. And yeah, Rama, what's your question? You have to unmute yourself
Yeah.
to talk.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. My question is pretty simple and straightforward. What is your selection process for the people you think are in the right category? And, uh, you know, can you also explain in your process, the entire learning process, what role does product market fit and sales scaling fit into the learning structures?
Great question, Rama. And yeah, stay on because we may go deeper. But we don't have a formal curriculum, so we don't start you in like a boot camp or tell you here's where we're starting, here's what we're doing. That's I think why we're able to help a range of companies that we are. It's very targeted and mentor based. So in terms of like we try to meet companies where they are, and so a lot of there's a good number of companies, especially when you're talking about the seed stage, where they're still trying to figure out like, well, what is the product, who is the customer. I can do a lot of things. Maybe I've got a platform. Where do I focus? That's one type of challenge of cohorts that we would help with. For companies that are a little farther along, you're still probably looking towards scaling, distribution, finding the right channels, expanding to Europe or America. There's always things to work on, and so for those companies, we bring that type of support. And again, it's very curated to sort of where the company is and what they're looking to do. But we've had we've had companies that are already selling products around the world. Maybe they're trying to launch a new product line or something like that, and they'd like some help strategically with that. Those are things that we help with. Does that kind of answer your question?
Um, yeah, can I just continue with a follow-on question?
Yeah.
Um, so can you also explain the kind of mentorship and support you would give if a company wishes to layer on AI tools like an agentic AI or something of that nature? Is that in your wheelhouse or is that outside your wheelhouse where technologies are concerned?
I'm not sure I fully understand the context. We don't do product development. Is that
Oh, okay.
so? You know, we don't, we really provide more experts and advisors
Okay.
than, we don't do technical product development for companies. If someone really needed help, like finding an AI person to help them with something, we may be able to do that. But we wouldn't actually be doing the work in developing
Yeah.
a product for a company. If there was it was something a company was considering and there was a big new market opportunity that they were exploring, and they needed to kind of, figure out what the right product features are, who the right customer is, how to target that customer. Those are more things that we could help with.
Got it. That's helpful. It's the latter part that I was looking not so much as helping to develop the product. Thanks.
Yep, no problem. Thank you. All right. Um, do we expect companies to already have raised some amount of capital? That's a tough one to answer. I think obviously it's nice to have capital. We don't want companies going out of business in the middle of the program because that makes it hard. But a lot of the companies have some form of grant or some fundraising in place before getting into the program, but not all. There are cases where there's like, an academic team, a founding team, and they've got kind of that university ecosystem around them, and that can work. In terms of the companies themselves, we do require that they be incorporated, but only by the time they start the program. So you don't have to have a formalized company to apply, but to get into the program, we want you to be incorporated in some way. Let me know if you have any other questions about that, Sarah. Do we have any hands up? We do not. All right. So, uh, what percent of early stage pre-seed seed companies would be a good fit? Um, Ramesh, I'd like to ask you, I don't know if I fully understand the question, so I'd like to bring you on and have you explain your question to me.
Hey Jim, good morning. Um, so, this is a fantastic initiative that BioTools Innovator is doing. And, we've applied for the accelerator program last year. We are still in our early stages. Um, I would say we are getting there into our seed stage. Um, so with, overall, given that you've increased your cap to 50 million, right? What percentage of the entire cohort do you see with you know pre-seed or seed stage companies participating or being selected overall?
Great question. That's a little difficult to answer simply,
Right.
but and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but like I would kind of guess that, a half, maybe two-thirds of our
Okay.
companies are kind of in that seed stage.
Okay.
Probably 15-20% maybe in like that pre-seed seed stage.
Okay.
So it's definitely a bit more challenging and competitive the earlier you are.
Right.
And that primarily comes down to just sort of the type of help we can give. And so if you have kind of unproven technology, you've spun it out of the lab, but there's
Right.
still a lot of data to collect.
Right.
There's maybe not enough there to help.
Right.
And so we do encourage you to apply just because we do get, reviews and feedback, and hopefully that would help you as you're developing to maybe get a stronger application the next year. But I would
Okay.
say the vast majority of our companies are in that seed Series A stage.
Got it.
And I want to jump in here and
Thank you so
say
much.
that
Yeah.
I'll jump in and add here that the most important thing to understand is that there is no prescribed quotas, right? Like we don't work in a way that we take X percent of pre-seed companies, X percent of whatever, right? So really the cohort is put together based on the actual potential of the opportunity and the team that is leading the company, and a combination of that, strategic interests of our partners. So there's a lot that goes into it. There are a lot of factors, but there's no really prescribed percentage. And so I do think that we've had in the past, the numbers that Jim mentioned around that. I think it's also a little bit maybe like changing a little bit now, but I think, to be very, very honest, it really depends on the opportunity itself. And if there is an opportunity that kind of aligns with, I don't know what your technology is, but an opportunity that aligns with trends that are coming up now in the industry, right? Things that are of interest to our strategic partners, or things that are of interest for us to foster in this program. This may change the stack the deck differently for you. And so I would say try to convey as much as possible your progress.
Yeah,
And if you don't make it this year, it's always good to have the feedback, I think. So
totally. Yeah, like we are huge fans of BioTools. We are a tools company, 100%, building the next generation of light-speed molecular screens. So we do see us having a complete fit into the BioTools Innovator Accelerator program.
yeah,
Um,
definitely recommend to apply. And then if you have any specific questions and want, a little bit more input, you feel free to reach out to us, and we can kind of dive into it even further.
And in
Sounds
our
great.
application, we also ask if you've applied before, and if you do, there's a box to submit your updates since your last update, so you can get some context of
Right.
like, what the year's been.
Jim, there's a question about
Got it.
internal,
Thank you
external.
so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. There's a question about internal and external reviewers. You want to take that, or?
Yeah.
Sure.
So all of our reviewers are external. And it always comes up, but these are non-confidential reviewers. We don't get NDAs with people, so we do ask that all the data submitted be non-confidential in nature and not marked as such, not marked confidential. But our community of investors and subject matter experts are the reviewers. So it's a completely external network. And if you are thinking about applying to MedTech Innovator, if it's an overlap of our programs, like a diagnostic, for example, we actually have different communities. And so if you were applying to both programs, they'd be reviewed by an independent review panels within our own programs. All right. What else do we have? What's in it for us? We don't take equity. Yeah, we haven't traditionally done that. We've been able to always support the program through our foundation sponsors and program supporters. So it enables us to focus on building the best program we can, and allows us to support the companies. Uh, that's why we're able to do what we do. So we thank our program sponsors for that. But yeah, historically we have been in a great position not to do that.
And I will add that this year we are actually looking at changing the structure of our awards, and our awards may be even more significant and awarding funding to the winner. And so that may be the case where you, instead of winning just a chunk of non-dilutive, you would be awarded actual funding. And so that will involve equity. But again, this is something that may change in the next cycle and moving forward, as we're trying to expand what we are able to, the ways we're able to support companies.
All right, Fatima.
Hi. So thank you for answering my first question. A follow-up, you mentioned external. So those are mostly business or technology or combination. That's one. My second question is, can we submit additional information about any significant developments when they become available? Let's say December 15, we publish a paper on this technology. Can we still submit that information to you guys?
Do you want to take that, Eyelet?
Sure. I mean, I'll start with your last question. 100%. Yes, we actually encourage that. If you have any updates, you are encouraged to reach out to us to let us know, and you can also update your application. But it's easier for us when you also reach out to us and let us know that this is happening. I'll say two things. One, up until the moment we make the selection, this is relevant, right? Because this helps us communicate the strength of the opportunity. Um, the other thing I will say on that is that during the selection process, there's a road tour where we invite about 15-20% of the top companies to pitch. And if your updates happen before that pitch event, that's also an opportunity for you to convey that in person to the panel that the panels, I should say, of judges that you will be seeing during the pitch event. So yes, multiple opportunities, very, very much encouraged to do so, and that actually matters. And sorry, can you repeat the first part of your question?
Yeah, the background of the external
Oh,
review.
yeah, sure. Combination of, so we have, it's a pretty great ecosystem of people that even on the business side have kind of an operating background in life science tools. So a lot of the people have, a lot of our reviewers have a technical background. Um, some of the reviews will focus a little bit more on that, but not 100%. That's not the goal here. We're not trying to do a technical due diligence. This will, we will be speaking to companies at every point of the selection, and so we'll learn more. But the goal is not a technical due diligence. Um, it's more an overall view of the opportunity. But our reviewers have really in-depth technical background, and so sometimes you will see, if you've applied in the past, you have seen comments that are technical in nature. So you'll see a lot of perspectives. There are investors, strategics, other experts in the industry that are, either technical or business or, commercialization slash sales slash other areas. So you will see a variety of types of feedback coming through.
Thank you. Very helpful.
All right, I put this slide back up because we had a question, what is the time commitment of the road tour component? And I kind of didn't show this one earlier. So this is last year's 2025's cohort data, but you can see we had about a little over 400 applicants to the program. 20% were invited to our pitch events, which is the road tour. And then we ended up with 31 cohort companies. And so in that process, the road tour part down here, that happens in March and April. We don't have the final dates of everything yet, but we're going to be getting those soon. And it's a one-day event. So we do, like I said, one in Boston, one in San Diego. I believe this year we're finalizing details for Germany, which I guess if we do that, it'll actually be in February, early February. But those are the kind of dates. And again, it's a one-day commitment. So we do a half day of pitches. We do have two sort of, except Europe may be different, but generally we have a one-day pitch, morning and afternoon session. And we have alternate programming through the day. So you'd be pitching in the morning, we'd have alternate programming support in the afternoon, and then vice versa. If you were pitching in the afternoon, we'd have support program in the morning. And then there's always a nice social and networking session after the event where you can kind of get to know everybody else, talk, and do some networking. That's the road tour. I said Germany's a little different. It actually may be only a one session component. It may not be two, but there'll still be the networking attached to it. We don't also have like funding support to get you to the events. You've got to take care of that yourselves.
There's a question here I want to take. Is BioTools open to competing technologies from previous cohorts? Yes. So our goal is to support companies in the life science tool space. If we were to limit ourselves to one company from a technology type or type of innovation, it would be a very small program, as you can imagine, within the life science tools space. We definitely have competing technologies, sometimes within the same cohort. Again, importantly, when there are group activities, we kind of try to make sure there's no conflict. But all the information that you will be submitting in the program is non-confidential, right? So there shouldn't be any conflict there. Unlike some investors, that are not able to support competing companies to their portfolio, we are able to do that. And so we definitely have similar technologies. We try not to take direct competitor necessarily, unless there's a value add. But there are definitely different approaches that are solving the same problem, similar technologies in the program.
And another question here from Greg, who are the program sponsors, and also some of our reviewers, program reviewers and judges. This is just an ecosystem map we have, so it shows you some of the types of companies that engage with the program at various stages and levels. But yeah, I hope that helps answer the question. But I think we got a pretty good community. When I came, I didn't say this at the beginning, but I was in the first year of BioTools Innovator. And in that first year when I came here, I had kind of built up a network map, and it took me about a year to figure out kind of who some of the life science investors were. And when I came to the program and I kind of looked at who was engaged and active in the program, I'm like, wow, like this is like 60% of my investor punch list, like right here. And so instead of having to get a bunch of, warm or cold introductions or figuring out how to connect, like they're all here. And so you can actually meet them at some of the judge events and other parts of the program. So it's a great, like we said, the ecosystem has a lot of value, and it's great because they also want to see who are the up and coming interesting technologies. They want to stay up and they learn from you guys as well. Do we have a list of mentors in our network? Well, we don't have a formal public list of the mentors in our network, but a lot of those companies that you saw, they do mentor and support companies. We don't necessarily have the same mentors year after year. We have a large pool, and we sort of, like I said, we kind of selectively choose the right mentor for the right company, and so we make sure that it's a good fit and it's curated that way. Um, let's see. In terms of I want to go back to the active developments. If you have an active development or something in your company that needs to update your application, Ayelet kind of said it, but we didn't explain it. You are able to edit your application after you submit it. So we're kind of unique that way. It's not like your application does not lock, quote unquote. So you're still able to update it. But I would also recommend, if you do have something, let us know, because we can keep that in mind or add a note during the review process. Because if you do it later, some of the reviewers may not see that update. And so we just want to make sure that we would be able to track and know that. And so let us know. Does the application process require recommendation letters? Great question. But no, we don't require recommendation letters. If you do have any sort of supporting documents or things like that in the application process, you can upload additional files, including your pitch deck, videos that you've done, anything extra you want to include. And if you had a good letter of support that you think adds a lot of value or credibility to what you're doing, you're more than welcome to include that in your application. And but it's not absolutely not required.
However, let me give you a little tip. We do have a nomination process. If you have someone to nominate you to the program, and what that requires is that they are someone that is able to, in a position to nominate you, and they can fill out a form nominating you and explaining the reasons for that. If you are able to be nominated, That does give you a priority review for the application. It by no means means you will get in, but it does give you a priority review. And so our alumni are able to nominate companies as well as investors, strategics, and others in the life science industry. And so if you have someone that you know that is familiar with the program and can nominate you, by all means do so.
All right. With the platform technology that can fit into different fields from climate to life sciences, could we apply with a focus on the life sciences aspect? Absolutely. We have many companies that come in with this type of technology where they could be used in health defense or air quality control or water or food production, fermentation, all sorts of things. And then there's an application life sciences. All of those would qualify for the program, but if you've got a life sciences aspect, for sure, it's a great focus area. And if you've already sort of got an existing business in another line and you want to sort of figure out what the opportunity is in the life sciences space, I think that's a good application focus. But absolutely no problems with that, and we encourage it. Are there any other questions? If there's not, I've got another video to show. It's a brief video, but you can think about some other final questions you have. We got about maybe 10 minutes left. So let me share my screen. And
community is very well connected, and I feel like any question, somebody's made the mistake, somebody has the answer to prevent you from making the same mistake. So it's been a really great community to be plugged into, and my experience has been wonderful.
The BioTools Innovator experience is a wonderful ride. I would highly recommend it to anybody who wants to basically provide more exposure for their organization, learn how to basically better crystallize their message, increase your networking ecosystem capabilities. And, you know, it was really useful for us. It was not only the people that you meet, but some of the people that you meet actually, you know, get invested in you.
The most valuable part, I would be tempted to say, is the grand prize. But in reality, it's not all about money. I think the network that we built, the mentors that helped us, and everybody that we met, including the other entrepreneurs, is going to stay for much longer than the money.
all right, so that's just another video. And then I got one more about our summit. So we haven't talked a lot about the summit, but our summit is the kickoff of the accelerator for those companies that make it in. We do a 2 or 3 day in-person conference in San Francisco, and it's across all of our accelerators. So BioTools Innovator, MedTech Innovator, and MedTech Innovator Asia Pacific. So we have about more than 120 companies in attendance at the summit. But here's a little bit about that conference and event.
The fun is about to start. Welcome to the Innovator Summit 2025. Great to see everybody. This is really all of our favorite day of the entire year, is the kickoff to the summit, because it really all starts here today. With 126 companies, there's going to be some competitors. That's okay. I always tell people, by the way, that you should know your competitors as well as or better than you know yourself. Relationships matter. You need people that you can turn to. And as you'll learn throughout this program, that's what you're going to build here.
This ecosystem is more than just people, companies. It's really just a whole family.
You are the outliers. You are the companies that have what we believe is the chance to succeed, that you have all the right ingredients. Now it's up to you, and we're going to do our best to help you on that journey. You will look back and you'll say, I made these incredible connections here, and those relationships will affect your future.
All right, I promise I don't have more videos. That's it. So we got a few minutes left. If anybody has any questions, if not, we can wrap the session here. I hope we got everybody what they needed to know. But if you didn't, or anything else pops up between now and December 1st, please feel free to reach out to any one of our team, and we will try to help you as best we can. But with that, I wish you the best of luck. I look forward to seeing your applications, and I hope all of you get in. It's going to be a great year in 2026 with a lot of great things coming. So we will see you around. Thank you.